What's up, Laker Nation, and welcome into episode 19 of the Lake Show Flow. I'm Gio with my co-host Joe.
What's up, y'all?
So today we're going to be talking about the Lakers' back-to-back wins, where Trez earns his new nickname, the Trezmanian Devil. Shout out to Joe's girl for that nickname.
She's creative, y'all. She's creative.
Yeah, most of the nicknames you guys hear, they're going to be from Francine. So, yeah, like we said, back-to-back wins for the Lakers. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, share it. We need to start reaching, more of Laker Nation, because our last video was kind of slower, which is understandable sometimes, but we want to get these consistent views. So, like we said, it'd help us out if you subscribe and give us a like, comment too, because we like to interact with you guys. So the first game we're going to be talking about today, the Lakers did defeat the Warriors 128-97. Big blowout for the team, but in that game, for the Warriors, you had Steph Curry with 27 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Kelly Oubre with 12 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds. Andrew Wiggins with 15 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. And you had Draymond Green with only 2 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. And James Wiseman, 7 points, 1 assist, and 8 rebounds.
And for the Lakers, you had LeBron James with 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. You had KCP with 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. You had Shooter with 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 7 assists. And then you had Morris with 7 points and 5 rebounds. And then off the bench, you had THT with 18 points and 10 assists. You had Kuzma with 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And then Harold, the Trezmanian Devil, with 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist.
Yeah, so the bench in this game, we're going to talk more about it because it did happen more towards like the second half. Trez was balling like the whole game. But, the bench energy was nice. But starting this game off, though, we had our boy Damian Jones, who got his new 10-day contract. He started the game off with an alley-oop from LeBron. So it's just, that's all we need, Like we said before when we signed him, we need him to catch lobs, play some defense, and just be big, So,
yeah, just basically play limited minutes, too. Like, a lot of people have been talking about how he needs to fill that Dwight Howard role, pretty much, not really be a guy that plays heavy minutes, but when they have an athletic center or someone that can move, we could plug him in. So it's good to see that he's doing that. He's still young. You could tell he still has a lot to learn, but it's good to see he is athletic. He has the ability. So it's good to see that, to have a young center. Hopefully we keep him. We put him into the G League and grow him, because I think he has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I think we can only sign him for 10 days, so then we'd have to put him for the whole year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we don't need him, like you said, we don't need him to do much. Just be the Dwight Howard of the team, pretty much. And if he can be a discount version of, Whiteside or Drummond, if we happen to not land them, if he could just keep his energy, then we might not need them. Or, like I said, if we don't get him for some reason, and the Nets get everybody, then at least we have Damian Jones. But Chief Keef, he's been playing.
Chief Keef.
No headband Keef is just different.
As soon as he took off the headband, I don't know what it was, but he just changed his whole game. So he had a hot start. He had I think back-to-back made threes.
Yeah.
So to see him hit his shots, we talked about it before. We were disappointed to see that he was starting, but it's only because he wasn't producing.
Yeah.
But if he could produce, and when I say produce, I don't need him to go out for 20 points. I just need him to get some buckets, play some defense, get some rebounds, get some steals, which he has been doing lately.
He just basically needs to be Kuzma light, like knock down some threes, and like you said, everything else, the scrappy stuff. Because if we can get that and then throw Kuz in with the bench unit, which, like I said, this game was crazy with the bench. But yeah, if we could just get that Kuz light in the starting lineup, and then Kuz off the bench, it would just be nice. But Curry, I mean, he had a pretty good start too. He ended up knocking down a deep three in the beginning, and I was kind of worried that if you don't stop Curry and you let him get hot, once he gets a rhythm, he'll knock down like 6 threes in a row. So.
Yeah, he had a hot start. He pretty much had 2 threes, 4 baskets, and a free throw. So for Curry, like you said, he's one of those guys that's a rhythm shooter. Mm-hmm. Once he sees it going a few times, he starts pulling up from like half court and making these crazy shots. So he did start off hot, but the rest of the team kind of fell short. So, Oubre had a 3. Green didn't really have anything. Wiggins had a basket and a free throw. And Longley, he didn't really have nothing either. So we were able to pretty much escape that quarter with not too much damage happening.
Yeah, and for Curry, it's hard to feel bad for him because of all those years where he had super teams. But it reminds me of when Kobe just had to play with just random, not randoms.
Radmanovic.
He had Radmanovic at one point. Sasha.
Yeah, DJ Manga, I think.
Yeah,
at one point.
like at that
Chris Mim.
Yeah, bro. Like I mean, Curry doesn't have it that bad. But like I
think
said,
the second best player on his team at one point was like Smush Parker or something.
yeah, we had Smush,
Kwame Brown.
Kwame, we had
Luke
Ronnie
Walton.
Turiaf, freaking Luke Walton. Yeah, he was playing a little
he
bit.
used to play back in the day, y'all, with Kobe.
He might be a bad coach, but
I used to love Luke. I ain't even gonna lie.
yeah, I like just the energy of Luke. The whole crowd, LA loved Luke. You know, you hear the Luke in the crowd. But yeah, with Curry, like I said, I mean, it's tough to see him out there. You know, not on a super team because it just seems like he's the only thing they really got. But I mean, I wouldn't mind. I've been hearing some stuff. You know, people are trying to campaign to save Curry from the Warriors and bring him to LA, and I'm like, I mean, I don't know how that would work financially, but. So yeah, so like you said, you know, at the end of that quarter, we did escape. You know, pretty much it wasn't the best of quarters, but we got a little bit. We saw early signs of, you know, THT was in early. He was doing some stuff. West finally hit a 3 in that quarter. Curry was making some circus layups though too. Going back to him, but we had too many turnovers in that quarter. Both teams did, and yeah. So moving on to the second quarter though, the Lakers. I mean. We pretty much started getting a rhythm with Trez kept doing his thing. We won a 7-0 run. I was kind of worried when I saw Nico Mannion make a 3 because like I know he can do it, but we'll let a guy like that go off sometimes.
Yeah, so I mean, Miko had 2 threes in that quarter, and that's really all he did. But like you said, Trez, this is Trez's quarter pretty much. I mean, Trez had 4 baskets. He had 5 free throws. And to come off the bench, you know, and have that energy, it's just good to see because a majority of the time he had to play against Wiseman, who's a taller, I would say just as fast and just as athletic center. Someone who's probably going to be there in the league for a while. So it's good to see him to be able to score and do his thing. And just the bench overall. Like you said, THC had a basket and a free throw. Kuz had a 3 and a basket. Pretty much people came in and stepped up. And then KCP even got in there with a 3 and a basket and a field goal.
So it was good to see him get back in rhythm. And like you said with Trez, he just, I've heard people say it, like if he was 7 feet tall, he'd like, we'd already look at him as like a Hall of Famer, like type of player.
Yeah, but then again, you gotta think about this too. If he was 7 feet tall, it would change his body dynamics and his weight, and he probably wouldn't be as fast.
That's true.
He probably wouldn't be as athletic. So I mean, you know.
Yeah, we'll say like let's just say if he was like 6'10".
6'10".
Yeah, like a power forward height. Like he would. It would be nasty. But, I mean, for what we have in Trez, it's been definitely worth it. Like, I never thought I'd like a former Clipper on our team as much as I like Trez. Like,
I love Trez. But...
And, he was eating, though. He even ate an elbow in that quarter. He got elbowed in the grill.
They said on the Laker Nation podcast he averages 1.5 hits to the face a game.
That's a stat?
No, they're just joking, but it feels like that. He always gets hit in the face. But, you know, I feel like with him, like you said, he's an energy guy. On the other side of the court, Curry had a 3, 2 free throws. Aubrey had a basket and a free throw, and then Miko with his 2 threes. Wiggins with a 3. Pascal had a 3 in a basket, and then Poole with 2 free throws. So, I mean, their scoring was pretty much everywhere in that quarter. There wasn't really anyone that just went off, which was cool. Curry got to cool down. There were some times where Kuzma played some pretty good defense on him. I know KCP had played some defense on him too, you know, so...
There was a play where he like locked Curry down. Like
Kuzma?
Curry was dancing and like just dancing, trying to do a lot, but Kuz just didn't let him get like any type of room, and he had to throw it out. That was impressive because Curry, he's made the best of them like just fall and trip on their own legs. So it was nice to see that. But he also Kuz, as much as we love Kuz, I mean, we can't not talk about that nasty air ball on the technical.
Yeah, there was an earthquake, so basically he ain't never felt the ground move. So.
He said 3.5 earthquake. He said it scared him and he missed it. So, I mean, I'll take the excuse. You know, our boy, he does enough. You know, so
I feel like everyone airs balls, free throws every now and then, though. You know, I feel like especially on our team, he's not the first one we've seen. LeBron has done it.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Yeah, like a lot of people have done it, but I mean, overall, it was a good quarter. At this point, they were saying we're shooting 68%.
Yeah, that was nasty.
So that's crazy to shoot 68%, even if it's against the Warriors, who isn't really a particular defensive team.
Yeah, it's
still hard
because we've been talking about rhythm, and our offense had a different flow. This like I don't know what it was. Like everyone just moving off the ball more, so it makes it easier for
more movement.
Yeah, and we're sharing the ball better. Like we said, Trez was balling. That was basically he had 15 at one point in that quarter. We were forcing turnovers. We had fast break points. And like I said, moving the rock, we took over the paint scoring, 36-18 at that point too. But yeah, so we're just looking at, our energy from the bench, 38-19, outscoring theirs. So going into the third, Curry opens with the 3, and I was kind of worried that he was going to get hot. I think he had like 5 out of the half right away. And then, but we basically shut him down enough to where I think towards the end of the quarter, he still only had 5 in the quarter.
No, he did. He only had a 3, he had a basket and 2 free throws. So he didn't really do much. But on our side, Trez continued to do his thing.
Trez was just...
He had this fake handoff spin move for a dunk in that game.
Yeah.
Which I feel like if Trez, he's so fast that if he could just work on some footwork and maybe get some post moves.
If he can't beat these bigger guys with his height, then he definitely, if he takes advantage of his speed, it's just a different dynamic.
Yeah.
But THT, man, he was just... His passing in this game shined more than even his finishes that he had, to me.
Yeah. I will go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say we talked about how he needs to keep his head up, instead of just being one-dimensional and always looking for the finish.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's getting that. Like slowly but surely, he's just looking at the open guy more, and it's just changing his game.
Yeah, he's definitely growing. I think even the announcers have talked about it. He's showing growth. He's not going just 100 miles per hour the entire time. He's slowing down. He's understanding that you don't have to go 1-on-3 all the time. You don't have to necessarily score to make an impact in basketball or in the game. I feel like a lot of people think to make an impact you need to score, but there's so many other things that you could do that can create an impact in a game. So it's good to see that he's not trying to score everything he touches.
Yeah. With learning from LeBron, AD, Kuz, the players that do what you're saying is not always just scoring and being effective. I think it's helping him too, because if he was just on a young team, it would take him longer to develop that. But to be able to learn from people like that, I think it's going to help him in the long run.
Yeah, so I mean, and in that quarter too, we had KCP hit 2 threes in a basket. So it's good to see KCP hit some threes. He had one, he had the 2 here. It's just good to see him shooting again. And I feel like with him, it's easy for him, I feel like, to get in his own head. Obviously, last year, that slow start, I feel like he was in his head. And then I feel like as soon as he gets out of it, he's fine, But
yeah, I think the bubble kind of helped him in the playoff run. And now, he gets a change of scenery again. We're traveling. And I think he has to get that confidence, but the way it is now, So hopefully he's not just a bubble player, because we've seen that, It's TJ Warren. I haven't even heard his name this year. I think he's been hurt.
He's hurt. He's out for the year.
I doubt he's going to do what he was doing. I think he had a 50-point game in the bubble.
Yeah, so he was an MVP candidate.
For some of these players that aren't as consistent, outside of that, I think the bubble helped them. The great ones are going to do good no matter what.
Yeah.
But so anyways, I just hope KCP isn't, one of those guys. Hopefully he keeps the momentum. And he actually did. We'll get to the next game, but he's looking like he's got his stroke back.
He's doing good. Another thing that I kind of took notice in this game too, and just in general in a lot of the games we've talked about it, I feel like with LeBron needs to go to the post more and do that turnaround fade. It's so consistent. Yeah. I feel like that should be the next evolution of his game. He's obviously got the strength and the height. Yeah. He's obviously fast enough. I feel like if he could develop, a post game, because I really wouldn't say he has a post game now. He does have like I said, a turnaround. He does do a spin. But if he
You're talking like ISOing out of the post?
ISO out of the post and create something with himself on that side.
Yeah,
because he could do it, and especially with he'll get switches a lot of times. I feel like instead of settling for the threes, like I said, go down to the post, do some moves, and get a basket. Because like I said, I think that's the next evolution of your game. I feel like that's how people prolong their careers.
Yeah.
Kobe did it, for a long time towards the end of his career. So if he could just get that going, I feel like he could even be more efficient than what he is. And he's already efficient, but he could probably even be more.
If he can do that and not take as much of a beating having to drive from the three-point line or he'll be playing until he's 45.
Yeah.
If he could do that. But I mean, once he gets down close enough and he does pop that little fader, I know the other one is 50%, or I think it was at one point 50% from the mid-range type. Yeah. But once he's underneath and he pops that,
develop some hooks. Develop some baby hooks, turnaround jumper, things like that. I think if he did all that stuff, he could be pretty much unstoppable. But pretty much that quarter, no one really stood out. Our bench at that point was outscoring their bench 49-19.
That was a wild number to see. And then we also, Wiggins and Steph were pretty much doing all of their scoring. It was 42 of the 71 that the Warriors had. So we're keeping pretty much everyone else in check, which is key for the Lakers because we always let these role players go off.
Yeah.
But, so we go into the fourth quarter, and we pretty much took over the game at that point.
Yeah, it was. We took over, like you said.
We had some moments like back to back. We had Trez getting a steal, getting an alley oop to Kuz, and then the no look pass from Kuz to Trez when he was driving. There was just some moments in there. So yeah, we finished off strong. THT stayed in there pretty much the rest of the game, and he had some nice moments too. He was even throwing alley oops to what's his name, Kakak, or Kakak. Yeah. So he was playing. He got his 10 assists that we talked about, but when he's like we said, when he's passing the ball and finishing, he's just a guy that I want to see us hold on to. Like him, Kuz, Caruso, I was telling you earlier.
Oh, yeah.
We got to keep this homegrown talent, Hopefully we don't have to trade him because we traded a lot of young guys that we wanted to see on the team.
Yeah, but, we went through a lot of losing. I mean, the prize was AD, but still, we went through a lot of losing.
AD and a championship.
Yeah, a lot of losing to not at least keep one of or two of those guys,
Yeah. So we ended up, the Lakers ended up shooting their best field goal percentage in 10 years. So that's how crazy this game was. We ended up having 62% from the field, which is crazy. And,
and I mean, everyone kind of scored. Like I said, I mean, in that quarter, LeBron was triple-double pretty much. He had his 2 threes and a free throw. THT, 4 baskets. Kuzma, 3 baskets. Trez gets another basket. Jones with 2 baskets and 2 free throws, So everyone pretty much did their thing. And on the other side, they pretty much waved the white flag. Curry didn't play the whole fourth quarter. They pretty much had emptied their bench. Miko, Wiseman, Pascal, Poole, Damian Lee, all these guys pretty much played. They set all their starters. So overall, we just took over in the fourth, and it was a good win. They are a subpar 500 team, but
they're like one game above.
But you're supposed to beat the teams like this, because when you lose against teams like that, everyone wants to be like, "Oh, why did you lose?" So when you win, you shouldn't downplay it as much because you should do this.
The reason I was impressed with it a little bit is just because they came off that win against the Jazz, and then I think they said they're the only team to beat the Nets, Jazz, Lakers, and Clippers when they're all full strength. So it's not that I'm saying this team's crazy, but they've shown the ability, when they get hot and all their shooters are hitting, and it's not just Curry, they can beat teams. But interesting. In this game, shout out to Raquel on Twitter. That's who I got these. She broke this down pretty crazy. But pretty much every Laker who stepped on the floor scored in that game. And then, like I said, the 61% from the field, 41% from the three-point line, and then out-rebounded them 46-30. So it was just a domination. But yeah, so now we'll get into the next game, which happened tonight. We ended up beating the Timberwolves, and that game was just... It's another game where we start slow and then we end up finishing strong. We beat them 137-121. And for the Lakers, you had LeBron James with another triple-double back-to-back. 25 points, 12 assists, 12 rebounds. You had Markieff Morris, 12 points, 7 rebounds. Damian Jones, who got the start again, 8 points, 3 rebounds. Dennis Schroeder, 16 points, 7 assists. KCP with 8 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Harrell with another big game. Like we said, the Trezmanian Devil, 25 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. THT, another solid game, 16 points, 4 assists, and 7 rebounds. And then Kuz with 16 points and 3 rebounds.
And then for the Timberwolves, you basically had 4 guys that did all the work. You had Towns with 29 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. You had Edwards with 29 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. You had Ricky Rubio with 19 points and 12 assists. And you had Noel with 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists.
So the trend continued in this game. Damian Jones opened the game with a dunk again. The first, the Warrior game, he had alley-oop. And then this one was another nice dunk. And then I think it was the same as the last game too. Chief Keef hit a 3 too. So pretty much it's good to see consistency. Like we said, Damian Jones, he's trying to earn a contract for the rest of the year. And then Chief Keef, he's pretty much trying to hold on to the minutes that he's getting again, because we talked about it before. There's a stretch where he wasn't getting minutes. Him and Wes, I think both.
Yeah, and I feel like with the buyout market, he's probably the one guy that has the most to lose other than Marc Gasol. Because if we sign a Ariza or a PJ Tucker, he's definitely going to be fighting for minutes with those guys. Because I don't think At least I don't think they would do it. They're not going to take minutes from Kuz. I think Kuz is ready to establish himself. But Morris has the most to prove other than Gasol. So it's good to see him play good. I mean, if he can play like this, I don't think we need to go out there and get another wing guy. As long as he can stay consistent, I don't mind it. And then you got Jones over here, like you said, trying to earn his contract. He had 4 baskets that quarter. You know, he had pretty much a putback dunk.
Yeah, to start the game, he was out hustling Cat in the beginning. Yeah, he was showing some encouraging signs. He didn't get, I feel like he starts, but he's almost like a placeholder. Like we start him, and then once Trez gets hot, like we pretty much have no choice but to. We can't have them both out there because we don't have as much, to stretch the floor. But we did start a little sloppy again, though. We had four early turnovers. And, I mean, it's just kind of our trend, but we can't really get away with that against, like, top tier. So you'd like to make better habits in terms of taking care of the ball, flowing the offense early so you don't have to get behind or have to have these close games. Because we can not come back, but we can have a closer game battle with, like, the Timberwolves and like the Warriors, like we talked about. But if we start trying to test that against like these top tier teams, we're gonna have trouble with that.
So the turnovers need to be cleaned up, like you said. But once again, like you said, this game was another good game as far as scoring. Everyone pretty much got involved. Everyone that played in that first quarter pretty much scored. Dennis, I feel like Dennis is slowly becoming silent again as far as scoring. But I feel like his playmaking ability is still good. He still gets into the paint, but I would like to see him maybe score a little bit more because, like we talked about, LeBron can't be the guy to do it. I mean, you can only ask so much from Morris and KCP and Jones. I feel like Dennis has to be that second guy in that unit. So it would be good to see him, get going again because he has games where he'll score really good, and he has games like the last 2 where I said he's not scoring too much, So hopefully he can pick it up.
Yeah, when he's at his best and that's being aggressive, he'll be getting into the paint like the Flash. Like, he's just quick. But then we have these times where it's like he seems hesitant and kind of reluctant to be the one doing everything or setting the tone early, So, I think it's just that bench mentality, He's not – I think he's still somewhere in his mind adapting to being, like, the main guy, the point guard of a team, of a contender team too. So hopefully he gets the mindset of like, let me set the tone, and then everyone else will because I feel like our offense runs different when we have that, threat of him cutting to the basket or dribbling the basket. It just makes everything different because everyone gets open. He sucks in a bunch of defense. So
no, he does good, But on the other side for the Timberwolves, Edwards pretty much started off slow.
I was worried about him this game.
Yeah, he had 1 basket in that first quarter. Towns had a 3, a basket, and 2 free throws. And Vanderbilt with a basket and 2 free throws. But the guy that like was kind of making me mad, I don't know how he does it. He's kind of crafty, but Ricky Rubio with 3 baskets and a 3. So
he plays in his he turns back the clock against us. It's just he just plays different against the Lakers. It seems like, but I mean, we just got to watch out for those kind of players because, like I said, even the last game, I was worried that some of these players were going to go off. But yeah, like we said, a solid first quarter overall. We just need to start cleaning up the turnovers because you could see that our team is better, against these teams. So I was just hoping like we just pull away eventually. But to open up the second quarter, we had Kuz with a nice dunk, and then we had Trez. This Bron Trez connection is something, dude. Like,
I was telling you about it tonight too. I feel like Trez is such a good pick and roll player. I feel like he obviously has the ability to shoot the mid-range, but I feel like it's because his size and how fast he is, he's able to actually roll off and get that space that he needs. And for someone as small as he is, he gets up there for the alley-oops. Like, he could fly. He could get up there, so it's good to see that work because you never know. We might, need Trez to maybe play some heavy minutes in the playoffs, and it's good to see that he's able to play with LeBron. Because, I mean, LeBron's going to be on the court regardless, so it's good to see he has that connection.
Yeah, and like with the AD injury, it's allowing more of that opportunity for him to be in there with LeBron.
Yeah.
Because, there's some games where when AD's playing, Trez is in, but Bron's out. So it's good to see that connection, get some confidence with it, because last year everyone was ragging on Trez for falling short in the playoffs for the Clippers. Like, he was letting Jokic go off. He just pretty much disappeared a few times like Paul George did.
Yeah.
But, so to see Trez kind of getting that confidence and just other people getting confidence while AD's out, that's just big for us. But THT, he started doing some things. It was good to see it's kind of like all the energy from the last game, like our bench carried that over.
Yeah.
So no one really disappeared from the last game.
No.
So he comes in, he gets a nice finish and gets an N1. And then at one point, I didn't know who number 4 was. It ended up being Noel.
It is Noel.
Yeah, he kept scoring, dude. I was like, I hope I don't have to remember who this is. But
yeah, he was one of the bigger guys to score, But he had a 3 and 2 baskets, But this quarter is where Edwards kind of got a little bit of rhythm. He had 3 baskets and 2 free throws. He almost had a nasty poster. Like, oh my God, like. And if you watch the NBA or just follow SportsCenter, you've seen this guy. He definitely could get up there. But he almost had a highlight reel. But even though he did get kind of a roll, it still wasn't crazy to hold him to 3 baskets and 2 free throws. Is not a lot, But in that quarter, like you said, the touchback on our team, like you said, THC had the 2 baskets and a free throw. Kuz had a 3 and 3 baskets. Trez 2 baskets, 2 free throws, and then Morris for 4 baskets. So Morris, once again, like we talked about, good energy. Just trying, just hustling, hitting the shots. So
she just looks confident again. So
yeah, the shots are going for him. It feels like he's not hesitating to shoot. He looks engaged too. I feel like in the beginning of the season when he wasn't getting minutes, he didn't look engaged.
Yeah.
But now he looks engaged. So hopefully he can keep that momentum going.
And we're actually doing pretty good at stopping Karl to a certain point.
Yeah.
But then he ended up getting his 3-point play and then getting some points in the paint. We're kind of letting him score a little too much in the paint. That was kind of upsetting me because I'm like, we do this a lot. And I mean, it's understandable. We don't really have a guy to match Karl in his size.
He's pretty tall.
Yeah. So I mean,
and he stretches the floor too. So it's kind of hard to guard him as a big guy.
It just gets a little annoying when Rubio's getting in the basket. Jake Layman, a few layups. And, I don't think it was this quarter, but...
No, he didn't score this quarter.
To see people kind of just getting in there so easy kind of gets annoying. But
yeah, I mean...
we made up for it with offense, pretty much.
No, we did. Like I said, I mean, no one on their side went off either. You had Rubio with a 3 and a basket. Vanderbilt with a 3 and 2 free throws. Towns with 2 baskets and a free throw. We had Reed with a basket. Noel with a 3 and 2 baskets, and Gomez with a 3 and a basket. So the scoring was pretty much spread out on their side. No one really went off. I feel like we played good offensively. Defensively, obviously not great because when you have 70 points in a quarter.
Yeah. Or 70 and a half, yeah.
70 and a half, I mean.
We just got lucky. We were scoring. Oh, not lucky, but our offense has been good. So
yeah.
It was just good that our offense outscored theirs, even by 1 point, 71 to 70. If you're going to give up 70, then the best you could do is score 71.
You probably could score 72. You don't want to talk about the best. I mean,
I'm just saying you better score at least 70.
Yeah.
You better be doing something.
Be in the ballpark.
Yeah. So, like we said, 71-70 at the half. Pretty much, I just wanted to see him limit turnovers and limit paint points. That was pretty much the main thing for that first half. And then going into the third quarter, you have Edwards knocking out back-to-back threes.
Yeah, started off hot.
Yeah. So like. He's playing like the number 1 overall pick, how he should be. You got LaMelo out there balling too. I was about to say,
him and LaMelo could easily be something special. And then Wiseman,
it could be
even though Wiseman isn't necessarily shining this year, I feel like Wiseman has so much potential.
Yeah,
like he could be good.
He's I think he's just suffering from being in a situation where he's not going to get fed that much, He's on the Warriors. It runs through Curry.
Yeah, they don't really feed their big man over there, Yeah. So I feel like he's going to emerge pretty soon. Not only that, sometimes playing the center position, it could be a little tougher because he's only 19. He's going against grown men centers that are like, 200 something pounds. These guys guys that played there. They've banged. They've been banging down low. They got calluses on their body. Like they're able to take punishment. So I feel like he'll eventually grow into, that grown man body he'll have eventually. Because like I said, I think he's only 19 right now.
Yeah, because for LaMelo and Edwards, they pretty much handle the ball. And you know what I mean? So they create the offense. So that's why they're shining a little more. But yeah, I was scared of Edwards just kind of like, because he kind of kept them close, like down the stretch. But we'll get into the fourth after. But Cat started going off a little bit. He started making his shots. He started getting some rebounds and just kind of doing what he needs to do. He made a 3. Oh no, my bad. I read that wrong.
No, he had 2 baskets and 4 free throws. So I mean, he was getting to the line. Still though, I feel like for someone with his his capabilities, with his ability to score, we still kept him in check. You know.
Yeah, we haven't seen the best Karl-Anthony Towns like the last 2 times we played them.
We haven't, honestly.
But yeah, like
I don't know what's happening with him though. It's like
the man's been.
I know he's been
stuff.
through a lot with the COVID situation. He did lose a lot of family members to COVID. He lost his mother, so
it could be a mental thing.
It could be he's just not. He's just not there, you know. But he doesn't look like the Karl-Anthony Towns I know, you know.
He's also missing D'Lo, so I think once they get D'Lo back, it'll give them more than just him and Edwards. Because I feel like it'll just make the offense more potent. But I mean, so yeah, and then we had this moment where this guy Jake Layman, you know, he has the moment of his career. I don't think he's ever gonna have a moment like this. He blocks LeBron, right? Keith gets the rebound. He blocks Keith. Then he takes the ball down the court and finishes it. I was like, what?
That's gonna be on SportsCenter.
It might. I mean,
that was his only basket, I think, the entire game.
The whole game?
Possibly. I think so, but like we said, I mean, on this quarter, pretty much, I feel like we were slowly starting to take over.
Yeah.
LeBron had hit a 3. He had 2 baskets, 3 free throws. Dennis hit a 3 with a basket. KCP with a 3. Kuz with 2 baskets. Trez with a basket. THT with a basket, 2 free throws. You know, Jones with a basket. So I feel like everyone kind of
lob. I was gonna say that lob from LeBron.
Yeah, you know. So everyone got to eat that quarter. Obviously led by LeBron. I feel like on their side, Edwards and Towns was pretty much all they had at this point. Everyone else had kind of went silent. Rubio had kind of disappeared. Vanderbilt disappeared. Their bench, Noel was the only one that scored. So pretty much we started playing good. You know, I feel like I said the momentum from last game probably has carried over. But it's just good to see guys play good, because I feel like this is what we should be doing, and this is pretty much the team that a lot of Laker fans had thought we had, you know?
Yeah, because we knew we had. Well, we have a lot out right now. We got AD out. We got Caruso. We got Marc Gasol. We got Dudley out for moral support.
Dudley,
I mean, he's still on the sideline. He
practices.
Yeah, but yeah. So like pretty much in this quarter, we're the team that decided to activate our defense more. Yeah, and that's what they're talking about in the commentary. Was like whatever team starts playing defense was going to take over the game. And that's pretty much what happened. Yeah. So going into the fourth quarter, THP had this crazy it didn't even look. Like, I tried to put my arm the way he did it, but he had a crazy finish. He has a lot of those, like those acrobatic moves. Like
he has long arms and big hands, obviously, you know. So I feel like it's easy for him to kind of palm the ball and you know, kind of get some good layups. You know, hopefully he could become one of those guys that's just a really good finisher and stays consistent with that. I would like to see maybe some more posters. You know, I mean, he's had almost a few. Hasn't really put one down yet, but he has the ability. But that quarter, we basically, like you said, he touched on it before. Trez and LBJ, LeBron, you know, they had that connection.
They had 3 in a row, dude.
Just
like 2 of them, plays. I think, were like alley oops, and the other one was just the way Trez finishes is just. I don't know how to describe it. Like he just
it's mean when he finishes.
He puts his whole body into that rim. Like I feel like he's gonna break a backboard. Like one time I said it and I felt crazy about it, but I feel like he finishes like Shaq. Like
oh wow.
I'm just saying the way that he finishes it. I'm not saying he has the size of Shaq. Shaq's a different animal. Shaq's a Hall of Famer. But the intensity I see, these dunks he does, I'm just saying. He finishes. He reminds me of like.
Well, let me tell you, if you want to get Shaq. Be barbecue chicken.
I mean, he would be barbecue chicken.
He'd be barbecue chicken.
He'd be
Shaq Diesel.
He'd be dead against Shaq.
Shaka Khan.
He said
Shaq Cactus.
Like with Trez though, like I said, I don't know. He just finishes mean. He finishes like you said. Mean is the word for it.
If you're trying to say he's a mini Shaq, there's really Dwight Howard. His prime was mini Shaq. So but, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
he does finish mean for a guy his size, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like he has the heart and the like intensity of a Shaq.
He has the heart of a Shaq. I feel you.
But he's Trez, you know. Like,
he's a Trezmanian devil.
Like
He's a whole nother. He's the same animal, but a different beast.
Shout out to Kobe, R.I.P.
Kobe system.
Yeah, if you don't remember that commercial, look up the Kobe system. It was the Kobe 8s at the time. Kobe system. I had those, by the way. Those were nice.
Yeah.
Funny commercials. Kanye West was in one of them. But anyways, not to get too carried away. Like we said, that Bron Trez connection is something else. Yeah. Wesley, he hit a 3, and it was the second of the game. I think LeBron had a stretch where he had like 5 straight assists.
He did. He had 5 straight assists. Like like you said, Trez had 6 points, or 6 baskets, in that quarter. You had LeBron with 2 threes, KCP free throws, Dennis with a point. You had Kuzma with a 3, THT with some baskets. Even McKinney had some of that. Even McKinney got a little bit of that.
Oh, yeah, McKinney, I like I was telling you, he doesn't score a lot. He does foul, but... He
does foul. I think he's just another young guy that needs to get time. He's
bounced around the league a little bit, but...
Yeah, he has some potential, but this quarter, it wasn't really close. Edwards still had got a 3 and 3 baskets. Towns had a 3, 2 baskets.
They're pretty much trying to climb back.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But they came up short. I feel like we just played good. Everything clicked. I feel like everyone was making their shots. I feel like this is a team that I feel like the major analysts and other podcasts I've listened to had said, like, don't worry, don't panic about the bad shooting.
Yeah.
We're going to go through slumps. But I feel like there's just too much talent on this team for us to just stay that way, obviously, because, even though these teams we've played back-to-back, they're not the greatest, they're still quality wins.
Yeah, for sure. Because
we're making our shots, and it's good to see.
It's back-to-back good wins against teams that can surprise, these contender teams. So it was nice to see the energy. It was nice to see LeBron got into closing mode, made some threes, got some assists. He should have been out the game, at one point already. We said that. But yeah, like we said, solid back-to-back wins. We got the Hornets next, and that's going to be fun to see.
I want to see LaMelo.
We get to see what LaMelo, hopefully he doesn't do too much damage, but still entertaining. But yeah.
It's one of my favorite players right now.
But we're going to have a question that me and Joe were getting into earlier. How significant
here we go.
does Laker Nation... No, we're not asking. I'm asking you. I'm asking them. Whoever gets to the end of this. How significant do you guys believe LeBron being up there? He was number 1 in win shares before... I think Karis LeVert and someone else played like 2-3 games, so they technically 1 and 2. He's with the most games played. He's pretty much number 1. How significant do you guys think this is for LeBron James? Do you guys feel like it's an insignificant stat? Do you feel like it shows a lot? I'm on the end of it's a big deal. Joe says there's context behind it.
I do.
If you guys want us to do an episode about talking about LeBron in general, because that's not the only topic we've got into. Yeah. But I think that those moments that we kind of have those back and forth, it would be interesting for a video. So,
and if you also know what defensive win shares are, because we're not completely clear on what that stat even is.
Well, yeah, I looked into it. It's a fancy way of saying like overall defensive impact, pretty much, because he's up there with like everyone you would think would be there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's a big deal.
He's a pretty good help defender.
See, Joe thinks it's a help defense.
It does play a factor in it.
It plays a factor. Like, I can't discount the fact that LeBron, he doesn't guard, the crazy star players for the whole game. I get that part. So that's pretty much where the debate part will come out. We don't want to give it up too much here because we can put in a whole video because it's not just the defensive part. But yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to get the comments, or if we get enough views on this for people to talk about it. But yeah, like we said, we got the Hornets next. 2 straight good wins against young, fast teams. Yeah, and that's pretty much all we can say. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, answer that question, and share us. We want to get this. We need to expand this. Like I really want to make a push to grow this channel because I feel like we have a lot to say, a lot of good opinions. And if people can't watch the games for any reason, I feel like you guys can get a good, roundup of games for us. But yeah, so we'll be back for the next one. Hornets on Thursday, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Be safe, Laker Nation.